Welcome to Africa Design, the show that takes African design to the world. Brought to you by Nairobi Design Week. I'm Adrian Yankoviak. On this episode, we're speaking with Kashyap, Farhia and Grishon, three designers who were selected to take part in the Urban Residency, a program organized by Kenya Lighting Industries and Nairobi Design Week to give young Kenyan designers experience in the industry and an opportunity to bring live products to market. The designers answered an open call, and we had multiple other entries that stretched from solar lighting to seating to basketball hoops and even skating furniture. Thank you to all those who entered, and we hope you keep an eye out for more opportunities in future. After all the designs were considered, 3 were selected based on a balance of creativity, feasibility, and market potential. The designers spent 5 days at Kenya Lighting Industries, refining their designs, as well as learning about different industrial manufacturing methods, such as CNC, punching, laser cutting, and electrostatic powder coating. The designs were then manufactured and launched at Nairobi Design Week 2020. The final production prototypes were left at 209 State House Road, the venue of Nairobi Design Week, in order to leave an impact in the long term for the community. The designs will also be made commercially available to provide a key link between East African design talent and the industry. You can find more information about the project at nairobidesignweek.com. Be sure to subscribe to our channel for more African design and leave a comment or review to let us know what you thought. Thank you and stay safe. How are you? Where are you?
Still at home, working on a project before the call started.
Okay.
Site in US.
Uh-huh.
I'm just designing for about 6 townhouses.
Nice.
It's a project that keeps me busy.
That's good. That's good. It's good that you've still got work coming through, actually.
Hi.
There we go. Hi, Farhia. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Thanks for joining us.
Good to see you.
And you. Hope you're well.
Yes, I am. Hi,
Nice.
Kash.
Hello, how are you doing?
I've been
Long
good.
time, huh?
I've been doing a lot of Illustrator.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to learn Illustrator.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to design my business card,
Okay.
learning stuff, cooking, a lot of new recipes.
Okay.
Cooking, we have seen.
Yeah.
Everyone's cooking, right? I've been enjoying cooking as well. I think everyone's
Yeah.
enjoying food more.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man.
How's it going, Grishon? Welcome.
Oh, yeah, good.
It looks like the room you're in is freshly renovated.
Yes. So I was just doing some home renovations. Hi, mom.
Hi, Mom.
So I mean, this is what I've been up to for a whole month now since I was locked out of
Wow.
Nairobi. Yeah.
Wow. Amazing.
Thanks.
Like, it seems like a lot of your practice is around kind of learning from your environment, right? From your upbringing. And you mentioned your dad's workshop before, but also like you're doing stuff all the time, right? So how has that influenced your practice now?
Yeah, I think we are a family of designers and artists. So I just found myself here doing what I do. My dad started it for me since he owns the workshop. So I got into interior stuff and furniture and design, and I mean anything that you can create.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I find it was similar for me, you know, like I've said probably before that you know, learning with Lego, like toys and making stuff and cutting out cardboard and model making, it's all kind of from being a kid, it kind of influences how your thinking is. into going into an adult. Cash, I saw you
Yeah.
nodding.
Yeah, we used to play. So, I think at that time we couldn't afford Lego, so we had the cheaper version. I think it's called Atco or Acro Block. So we used to play with that. I used to make these trains, what do you call cars, buildings, etc. But my brother was more. I was strangely he didn't take up architecture. I did. So a weird outcome.
I remember Lego was such a special thing for me as well. It was, not that available in Poland at the time. It always had to be imported from abroad, really. And then, maybe by the time I was 6, it was or 6 or 7 or 8 readily available. What about you, Faria? Did you have any toys that made an impact on you as a kid?
Well, not so much with design, but I was a playful kid for sure. But interesting, I'm like the only one in design in our family. Everyone else is like banking. They do banking. So it's like, yeah, I'm literally the only one. But it's cool. I like it. And I was a playful kid though.
Anything influenced the way that you're creating?
Mm, hmm. Well, I used to model a lot. Like I used to play with the modeling clay a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So like cardboards.
Mm-hmm.
I like making stuff out of cardboards. Yeah, so I think it's helped me like conceptualize something first before I draw it. I can have like a clear picture of how I want it to look before I do it. And like I like modeling actually. I like making models. I don't really mind it. Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't we use this as a bit of an introduction then? Who's first?
Yeah. Who goes first? Kashyap.
I'm a graduate architect from Jomo Kenyatta University. Used to play with Lego blocks, so brands of them, making models, practicing things. So I have a passion in woodworking, furniture making, interior design, and these days I work as a freelance consultant. Basically, help architects maybe in case they need a draftsman or they need something design. But generally, anything with design, I do my kind.
My name is Farhia and I am an architecture student in my final year. I love art, photography, and architecture. So, in my artistic career, my main focus is on art, visual arts like painting, drawing, illustrations, and then architecture and photography. Yeah, currently I'm at home enjoying the stay, learning softwares and cooking and just using this time to know myself more.
Thank you, Grishon.
Yeah, so I'm Grishon Gare, a product designer and sculptor. I have likings in art also, and apart from my art side, I love bikes. Currently, I'm locked out of Nairobi because of the recent lockdown. Caught me off guard, so I'm at home in Shags in Embu County, and what we decided to do is do a makeover for our house. So I was contracted as the lead designer. So I'm helping out where I can just to keep my design thingy running. So other than that, I decided to also carry my stuff, my tools. So sculpting doesn't stop. I'm sculpting a little bit here, and maybe after this pandemic ends, we'll have a better collection actually. Yeah, what else?
So you talked actually about your sculpting. So how are you developing your collection and your sculpting?
What I feel is I need to revolve around what is going on around the world. So I'm getting different themes from the pandemic and creating sketches that I will work on, mainly in line with what is currently happening. I feel like as an artist, as a sculptor, I need to echo out what the situation is right now and record it as history, and maybe through work of art I can in the near future, 30 years later, we can still remember that there was a pandemic in 2020 and this is how I represented it in my sculpting work.
What are some of the themes you're exploring? As a secret?
I can echo out some of them, which is currently what is happening everywhere. The social distancing, it's awful, man. It's, as human beings, we are social beings, and being quarantined and all this stuff that is going on is quite bad. And so these are things that I'm trying to look at. I mean, we are social beings, and also the unity now that is coming through among us. I don't know, the other things are quite a backlash to the European world, who actually I feel very bad when Africa is on the limelight, being told that we'll experience more deaths and more, the negative side of this thing. I actually feel it's very bad to say about that, because as a continent, we're trying our best, and I think at this moment what we need to do actually through art is to get rid of those negative comments and warnings. I mean, we can do better. So those are the themes that I'm getting through.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Nice. Farhia, you said you've been learning Illustrator. Have you set yourself any particular projects with that?
Yeah, so I'm trying to start my website, so that I want to learn everything. My business cards, I'm the one who wants to do them. So that's what I've been doing, my business cards, my website running. And also, since I do photography, I've been trying to edit some photos for my website as well once it's up and running. I've been learning GIMP, and it's actually Cash who told me about it. It's pretty easy than Photoshop. Photoshop is a GIMP, sorry. GIMP, sorry, yeah. It's a bit easier than Photoshop, for sure. Yeah, so I'm also on that. I'm just hoping by this, what I'm using this time for is to create my portfolio properly, to kind of like rebrand myself and my portfolio. I'm hoping by the time we're done, I'll be up and running with my portfolios, my website, my card. Yeah, that's what I've been up to.
And what is your website? That's gonna act as your portfolio, is it?
Yes, that's actually, I went to my portfolio, my photographs and my art and anything I do, my projects really. Yeah.
What, have you got a domain that we can find it?
Not yet. Just give me some time.
Okay.
Yeah.
You'll have to show us once you're done.
Yeah, for sure. I'll even send you guys.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Please do. Please do. So guys, yeah, thank you for this call. I think it's really nice actually to catch up. It's been a while. We haven't seen each other since Nairobi Design Week, which was a while ago. And since we saw the objects that you guys came up with as part of the Urban Residency. So I wanted to kind of find out, first of all, why you chose to design the things that you designed. Sure.
I chose the basketball hoops because they're playful. It's something playful, and that I can get to really express my playful side. Like, I think basketball hoops are really playful. Like, you can do so much because you were doing the cutting and CNC punching. You can do a lot on the board and make it so playful. So I chose basketball because it's playful, it's interactive, and I resonate with that more. I like basketball even though I don't play it, but it's a sport I really enjoy watching. Yeah, I really like basketball. So that's why I resonated towards it more. Yeah, and then I wanted like a challenge because it's not something I've ever done before.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to see what I could do. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's good. How was the design? You know, you kind of had a couple of designs. So the normal basketball hoops and then the tree hoop, which is still yet to be implemented, but we have the designs. So how were your designs influenced?
Well, so what influenced my design was Nairobi Design Week theme, mainly inclusivity. You have this thing. There's this thing for Nairobi Design Week. Design is open, inclusive, accessible, central, and empathetic. Yeah, so I wanted to bring out one of those themes in my design. And so I figured having an inclusive hoop, like a basketball hoop with multi-pairs, would be able to bring out the inclusive theme and also promote interaction, because that's what the design week was for, to just promote interaction through art and to exchange ideas. Yeah.
Yeah, so for me, apart from the incredible technology that Kenya lighting industries have for the laser cutting and CNC punching and the powder coating, I was interested in trying out now hands-on on the technology. And the reason why I went for the benches is because, as I said, we are social beings, and these are some of the things that human beings really appreciate. A place where they can just sit down and chill and enjoy a moment. And then I also wanted to echo out our cultures and our artifacts as Kenyans. So that's why I went with the Samburu artifact, and also the diversity in our cultures. The bench provides room for other artifacts to be. You can have a representation of another tribe or another community on the same bench, and it forms a sort of identity. So yeah, these are some of the things that I was, which made me go for the bench design. Yes, and also the simplicity. Simplicity in making it is also one thing that really drove us there.
So tell me about the simplicity.
It was one metal sheet that was bent, actually cut into two. So one sheet made two benches, and half of the sheet was being folded into three sides, which was the only work that was being done on it. So minimal welds and what else? Yeah, I think that was the simplicity of it. Like no mini join, not as much joinery as we do in welding.
Mm. Mm. Was there any other big differences that you came across in how you usually work, your material process to how you were working here?
Of course, there was a lot like creating detail. The artwork that I presented to Kenya Lighting Industries will not be done on if you were to punch the holes or make the detail using hammer and the spot welding. So the laser cutting came through big time, and that's why we were able to achieve the detail in such a minimal time also.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the amount of potential that laser cutting gives you with detail is incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super.
Yep.
Kashyap, tell us.
Yep. My side, I wanted to do bollard lights mainly because of, as the theme said, inclusivity. Because if you think about how people travel in Nairobi, 50%, if I read right, travel on. And we have so many highways and so many flyovers, but hardly anyone thinks about how pedestrians walk. So I wanted to make sure that the pedestrians feel represented, and wherever they walk, they have the safety of illumination that they can see where they're walking. And the bollard also prevents any vehicles from climbing on, driving onto the pavement, because it is a habit that happens in Nairobi whenever there is traffic jams. So I said, let's create a bollard light and let's make something that's definitely Kenyan. And in that sense, we can promote local industry, because laser and what we call CNC punching, they can all be done locally because Kenyan lighting industries have the equipment and the machinery, labor,
Mm.
the skills, and we don't need to import anything from abroad. So if we can create a standard of production that rivals what we can get from outside, then no one is justified to import. And that way we promote Kenyan products. So that's like the whole sphere of why I did a bollard light. Something small, we can start with bollard, and I'm sure we can always migrate to something bigger that helps Kenyans more.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, thanks for that. What about the design itself of the bollard? How did you come up with that?
Um, so I had 4 designs. The main thing was to make sure we have enough light coming onto the floor, because we still have to meet the standards of illumination. But then the artwork I did, it's a play on basically Kenyan theme. So there is something like the taa. Taa means lantern or lamp in Swahili. Then we have pambo. Pambo is decoration, beauty. And
Mm-hmm.
that was a take on Swahili mashrabia designs. So that's screen with Arabic Swahili influence. Then we had Mbele means future. So I wanted to give it a futuristic theme. So that I was inspired a bit by Black Panther, which is the Hollywood take of Africa. So that's very sharp angles. Yeah, basically the point of the 4 designs was that if we can embrace local art and we can give variety, then even clients who want custom art, for example, say Tuskys comes to us and says, I want elephant themed artwork on my bollard, we can do that. So laser cutting can cut anything.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was one of the fun parts of this project, doing the custom artworks, right? Everything can have different variations.
Mm-hmm.
So, what were some of the biggest challenges that you guys had during the experience?
Well, for short time, we were just there for like a week, and there's a lot to learn. So getting everything in a week was a bit challenging, but I really enjoying learning new things. So it was okay for me. I don't really mind it. And then the other thing, for me, we had all these new technologies, industrial manufacturing. I'm not quite familiar with them. So comprehending from how it's done to like, I had the challenge with my designs and how they'll be implemented with the tools that were there. So like understanding how the tools work in my design, like getting the line between creativity and manufacturing. That was a challenge, and that's like maybe one of the main things I learned, a balance between creativity and manufacturing, because it has to be able to be manufactured at the end of the day, even if it looks good. Yeah, that was like the main challenge for me. So it ended up taking a lot of time because the settling on one design, the next one. But yeah, it was a really fun experience, and really a lot of learning was done. So
That's good, and
yeah.
hopefully those things, come back to you in future when you're designing other things. And the more you familiarize yourself with processes, the easier they get to work with, and the more time you save. Have you found any tools that you've learned before? And this is, I guess, to both of you, like any tools that you've really found the investment worthwhile, as a designer in hindsight?
I think GIMP would be one, as in it's like the open source version of Photoshop, and like I don't know how to explain it, but essentially people said invest in Photoshop as a program. I said let me try GIMP because that's a smaller program, lighter on the computer, and I could always invest more time in it compared to Photoshop. And it's paid off. Then I do digital art from time to time, and mostly photo editing. So it's really helpful when I'm doing renders of my architecture project. So anytime I need to add people, I need to add landscapes, find somewhere to do color correction or improve my section, GIMP is a very useful program to handle that. Even it's useful in rendering for product design, comes in handy. Yeah.
And what about, I know you've used SketchUp before. You found that useful, right?
Yeah, that's my main program. That tied with a bit of ArchiCAD because that's the program we learned in school. Though I'm told the world is moving towards Autodesk Revit. So that's yet another program we have to learn, but I will see my choices and just pick one that maybe does everything as opposed to scattered programs that do a bit of each.
Kashyap, SketchUp. SketchUp was one awesome software that I realized would go very well with laser cutting technology. So I'm getting hands on it. Another thing is now the use of the laser cutting in almost all my designs. Almost all my designs. I want to get into lighting design also. So I'm actually seeing a great potential with the laser cutting because of the preciseness, and then now comes the powder coating, which you can use for either exterior and interior functions. So without now, which increases the durability of your object. So yeah, that is one thing I learned um, to use in my practice.
That's good that you
Oh,
go on.
yeah. Yeah, and also the team effort. I realized when you meet more than one designer, you change a lot in your design, which is very beneficial. Because I realized there's so many small details, tiny details that I wouldn't have pulled off without the help of Kashyap, Farhia, and also Mr. Haprit, who was advising us on that. So uh, working with a team of designers, consulting them, and all that can really help in fine-tuning a design.
So if you could go again, what would you do differently?
Mhm. What would I do differently? Wow. I think I'd be prepared with a SketchUp software, one, because I know it was really hectic coming up with that design. Uh, Another thing is I'd go with 1,000,001 design ideas because I realized you can do so much with laser cutting. Um, so you're not limited to anything. It's like actually sketching it on paper and feeding it to a computer, and it just makes whatever you want. So, um, which in contrary, I thought would be I'd have to sketch and get into so much detail. So I realized it's so easy.
What about Kashyap and Faria?
Um, I think if we held urban residency again, I would definitely, as Grishon said, I would definitely get more inspiration for my design because I came to the urban residency thinking that I'll just be picking one of my designs, and then to be told no, you have enough material for. Even coming up with four was quite difficult. I spent about 4 days non-stop, trying overnight, etc., trying to get my designs done. So I think going for the next one, I would maybe open my let's say horizons wider. That I would go on Google, read more about bollards, and look at more images, something that can inspire us. I think the way the subconscious works is that you don't have to see the exact thing that you are going to design, but once you have all of this material to work with in your head, when you sleep and you wake up, you will have something that's relevant, works with the design, but it's also original as much as. So yeah, a bit more of Google searching to see what else is out there.
Okay, Faria.
Mhm. If I was to do it again, one thing I'd do different for sure would be to make more prototypes. That's something I overlooked, and I realized it's actually really, really important to make as many prototypes as you can because it makes visualization easy, and also you can easily manufacture. You don't get problems at the end. You can visualize the whole thing. So I do more prototypes even. Yeah, just some. And now just make as many prototypes. That's just doesn't have to be complicated, just simple. That's one thing I do. And then the second thing, I'd also just go with an open mind because I realized the laser cutter is pretty fast and it's so articulate to the details. So because I was scared of details, like you can literally do anything and it's gonna produce it for you. So maybe like many more designs and an open mind to receive anything and more to be more creative. Yeah.
Prototyping has grown on you,
Mm-hmm.
and the usefulness of prototyping. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's easier to make those mistakes at the beginning,
Yes.
isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
True, true. That's something I learned from that experience.
Mm.
Because I mean, there's 101 things that personally inside you you get to pick as a designer. And I think to add on that, I'd say the opening up. I mean, if investors and these big design companies and I mean, guys who have already developed, if they could take in one or two young designers and work with them maybe for like a year or so, um, not basically like the internship form of work, but it's whereby a designer comes in with his own clients and you have the opportunity, and he or she has the opportunity to work in your company and produce things that can go out to the market, and maybe you can even agree on a market share. And these are the things that maybe help us grow as young designers, looking forward to maybe saving up and investing on the same or a better technology than where you've started from. So it's like helping us get a stone to leap. Yeah, because I'm not sure I'd buy a laser cutting machine at my age currently. So, but if I've got the opportunity to uh, design something, a lampshade, and sell it to a client, give Kenya Lighting a cut of the profit margin, and we all benefit out of this, and we become better designers by the end of the day.
Great. Yeah. Well, that's the idea behind the residency is, I guess, to be a starting point for industry and designers to be able to start having more of these experiences, and hopefully we'll be able to do longer ones as well in future. Cash, was there anything else you wanted to add?
I think one thing that I learned from the residents, how intensive product design is. As in, when you are doing architecture, we are told we are able to do interior design, we are able to do product design. But it kind of opened my eyes on how much work is involved in product design. And you look at the product, it looks so simple, looks like could have been done in a day or two, but might have taken 6 months to design. And the second thing is how important speed. So the way you design, you have to design for mass production. So a few seconds on cutting or seconds on bending can start accumulating when you're doing 100,000. And that's a lot of labor, that's a lot of electricity, and that's basically boils down to money being lost due to inefficiency. So all of that goes into product design. And I tend to appreciate product designers more. Like if right now, if I buy a product, I'll not judge it as quickly. I'll be like, no, guys, took a lot of time designing this. Have a better look before giving it a treat.
That's good to know. It's interesting. It's nice to find out that an architect will appreciate product design more. I think from I may have mentioned this, the kind of ways I used to see it is that an architect is trying to design one thing for a million people, and a product designer is trying to design a million things, the same one thing, to be distributed a million times among people. And how is it that And I'm looking at every object around me, you know, even the router on the wall, that took someone 3 to 12 months to design. And even if I'd look at a piece of furniture I was creating and it took me a year to design a piece of furniture, I'd think, how can an architect design a whole building when we're taking a year just to design a table, you know? And I guess the scale that you're working on, and again, maybe the amount of detail that you're physically actually doing yourself there, because an industrial designer tends to get really involved in the gritty details of screw sizes for the product and textures, you know, and perhaps as much as architects do also do that and do textures and finishing, they don't have to do every piece of interior design for the building. Yeah. So what advice would you guys have for any designers applying for residencies and trying to take opportunities like this one?
Go for it. I know that sounds so cliche, like everyone says go for it, but literally just go for it. There's so much to learn out there, and don't be scared to try new things, even if it's not your field. Just be open to learning as much as you can in this field, because there's so many things you can do in the field. So be open to learn anything, and just go for it, and go for it and be open. There are many mentors that they're ready to guide you and help you in this career. So just go for it if you get the opportunity.
I realized that no design is bad design. And what I mean is, you can come up with a design and someone won't like it, but someone else will like it. So where do you settle on? Is it abandoning your design or taking up the design for that one person? And I realized that you need to believe in yourself as a designer and create things that you feel passionate about, because those are the best outcomes, as long as you consider your fellow human being. Whether you see someone is so tall and you've designed something that is of your size, you can just twitch up the design and make it suit your fellow human being who is taller than you. So it's just considering your fellow human in whatever you design, how he or she will use your design, how it will affect them. And I think those are the two main things that I'd take into consideration when designing.
My advice for anyone considering a residency, again, I would build on what Farhia said about going for it. As in, even with architecture or any design field, as long as something, say it's a few chances for a lot of people, go for it. As in, it doesn't matter how many architects have applied for competitions and not won, but then the designs are picked up by another competition. Now, anyways, if you're looking at it from the point of a student, this is a learning opportunity. So even if you are not selected for residency, you do get the opportunity to design something in the brief. That's something that goes into your portfolio. That's something that you can even keep on your CV, assuming your CV is still young or doesn't have a lot of content. And lastly, I would advise that after you finish the residency, if people approach you to gain advice or ask for information on how the residency was or what you learned there, share the information. Because at the end of the day, we are still one country and one humanity, right? You have to is free.
Would you guys have any advice for us as Nairobi Design Week and Kenya Lighting Industries on how to improve the experience for the residency?
Maybe maintain the food.
Come on, Grishon.
You did a perfect job. Kenya Lighting Industry did a perfect job. I think you'd be compelled to go there every day. Just
well, you mentioned food, was it?
No, it was
No,
perfect.
the food was amazing.
Oh, maintain the food, like keep the food coming.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
But anyway, to be more serious about it, I think being the first lot of the urban residency, it's really personally feel honored, and I actually see a very bright future for the next and upcoming urban residencies, because if this was the outcome of whatever this first one was, I think there's so much future in it, and I'm looking forward to it.
If I can chip in, I would say that if you want to improve the residence, it's good, it's perfect right now. I'm saying the next lot should also have to build on what we did. So I was thinking maybe there should be a platform where we as designers can collaborate on design. So say Harpreet gets a project for designing a facade building, or he wants profitable. What he can do, we can form a group, and then he sends us the brief, and like we submitted for the urban residence, we can submit our designs for it. So we basically, I'm requesting if there's a way we can get the first priority to submitting design as this residence group, and whoever gets the design takes it forward to production. That's about it. So I think it would be nice to continue this competitive nature of
So it's
providing
more of
design.
a community idea phase. Is that
Yeah.
what you mean?
Yeah, so
That's
each
nice.
person can contribute the design, and if you want to help make it bigger, why not? That's basically what we did at the residence. We are helping each other with the design. So Mr. Arpit gets a variety to choose from. He can forward to the client, and we also earn something from that, hopefully, assuming the client likes it.
Okay. That's really useful. That's really useful for us. I think we're gonna obviously try building it. We're gonna try to keep running the residencies. I think now looking at it, we've kind of been helping to do residencies of some sort for a few years now. We did a solar one in 2016, and now the urban one with Kenya Lighting Industries are such good partners to work with. It's hopefully something that we're going to be doing more of, and we certainly want to keep exploring collaborations with them on products, etc., and give them the access to fresh new design talent as well, so that they can have new designs coming out of their factory.
Yeah, I also thought of it as a school, because basically what we did in that 1 week was learn, and once you get into school, you have the results and an award. Thanks for the awards, by the way. So,
have you all received? You haven't. I think I've still got some ones, right?
No,
No, you've got yours.
I got mine.
Okay, good. I wasn't sure, you know.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, so we are alumni of Nairobi Urban Residency, Nairobi Design Week Urban Residency. So does it stop there? I thought it shouldn't stop there. Like, we should have we should now build up on that, like become a community of product designers, because I actually feel product design in Kenya has not been explored as much as possible. And what I was thinking of is get into diverse product design or design anyway. Like let's move away from furniture. Let's move away from these other, like, I believe we can design a drone, we can design phones, we can design some other small gadgets that are very helpful. I don't want to blow this trumpet, but during this season, me and my dad designed a tap. Uh, what is it? A water dispenser, a hand washing dispenser, and we've actually seen many more that are being designed by other people. So
Yeah.
I realized that this was a problem that needed to be solved, and someone else also thought that what if we could come up with a hand wash that you don't have to touch. So I think we can touch on some of these things other than centralizing it, or maybe taking a direction of the furniture and these. I don't know. I think I don't know whether you get my point, but something like that. Like we could explore more into product design.
Yeah, that's
True.
great. That sounds really good. I like what you said about the alumni network as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems whenever there's a program I've come across that's repeated on a yearly basis, after 5 or 10 years, there seems to be a buildup of people that have completed the program that think,
Mhm.
well, why aren't we doing more with that network? You know, so maybe now in year one we should be looking, and even looking, you know, whether we can connect you to the designers who came here in the solar residency. That was the guys from the UK, from De Montfort University, and we had Kenyan designers working with them, and they've kept in touch actually. You guys got any other thoughts about that?
I like the idea of collaboration. I really love that. Like, it doesn't end after the residency ends. Like, you can collaborate even in the future. You can share designs. Like, I really like that. That would be really nice if it happened.
Good.
I think maybe I don't know if we have reached that level, but maybe we could be mentors. For example, if you do the next urban residency, you could always bring us in as mentors to maybe re-evaluate entry. So maybe if someone needs help, that hey, I don't know how laser cutting works, and I want to submit my design for urban residency 2021, then maybe we could always chip in and say, hey, this is something you can work on, you can improve this area, and it basically improves the entry for submitting something
Yeah,
like that.
True.
that's a great idea. I think you're totally right. It would be great to bring you guys in so that you can convey the messages that you've just been sharing here about what you'd like to do differently in the first day of the residency, and it's much more believable when you guys say it, perhaps. So let's wrap up with any final thoughts.
I'd say thank you to Kenyan Lighting Industries for giving us that mentorship. I think Mr. Harpreet was such a good mentor, and it was refreshing and inspiring to be mentored on that level. And I really thank you for that opportunity, and for Nairobi Design Week as well. and I'd hope to collaborate more in the future. And with Kash and Grishon, thank you. I learned a lot. Teamwork. I learned so much about teamwork. It actually takes a village to bring some ideas to life. So thank you for that opportunity and hopefully to many more. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Farhia.
I'd like to appreciate Nairobi Design Week, Adrian, for what you do. I mean, it's been a journey now. I think close to 3-4 years working with Nairobi Design Week, and I mean, I've got a chunk of my network from Nairobi Design Week, so I really appreciate it.
True.
Yeah. It was awesome also meeting Kashyap and Farhia. I mean, those are two architects. In the next 5 years, I won't be jobless. Yeah, because I mean, we really depend on these, what are they called? Complementary careers to survive. So, I mean, two architects in my network is a great leap, and I just hope that we will keep in touch. And whenever you need any design, product design, sculptural ideas or anything, I mean, I'm there. So let's share, let's help each other, and I think it's human to do so, and we'll all prosper together.
Thank you.
Right? Yeah.
Thank you, Grishon. Anything to add, Kash?
I think my final thoughts, again, always building on Grishon and Farhia, is how appreciative I am to Kenyan lighting industries, Nairobi Design Week, and of course Grishon and Farhia. Because if we think about it, how many people would set aside 5 days of even the year or month, whatever, just to teach young people how to interact with machines, interact with technology, and and even pay them. That's very that's very strange. I've been on attachments that last more than 2 months where I've not paid a single cent, and this is 5 days, a lot of learning and also payment. So I think it's quite a noble cause to teach and invest in youth, because this is basically investing in us, that you have given us an opportunity to learn using your technology. Hopefully we can improve on it and give better design.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Yeah, that's really good to know as well. And it's another conversation that we could probably have for another couple of hours about how interns and volunteers and what are treated, and how you know, I was very fortunate with my internships, I think, when I was younger, and it really inspired me, I think, as well, to now, you know, now that we're able to connect with people like Kenya Lighting Industries and they find the value in it, and you guys are finding the value in it, it's really good that these links can be made and that they can keep growing. So yeah, looking forward to seeing where this goes and where all of you guys go once you're out of quarantine.
I know.
Sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks too.
Good.
Awesome. Any final thoughts?
Didn't you just say brilliantly?
Self-promotion.
Stay creative.
Yeah, of course. Brick House Concepts on Instagram, on Facebook, and on Twitter. And I
Mine,
actually reached 1,000 followers today. So
nice
big
one. Uh,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
on my side, it's basically short form of my name, Kash Gohel. So that's everywhere on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. And you can always drop me an email anytime or a message, and you can always chat. So architect here, almost architect graduate, good enough.
Stay creative.
Thank you, everyone. It's been awesome.
Thanks a lot.
Like that, yeah.
Adrian, I had a question for you, more of a
Please.
banter.
Yes.
Didn't you just shave recently?
No, that was the video I posted was of my previous shave.
Oh,
This is now
Oh.
this is the one that I need to get done. That's what I'm saying. I'm missing my barber. Looking at the video of my last shave.
No shave corona.
Yeah, this was
Yeah.
well. Actually, I'm thinking it might also be the first time I just go fully bald. I've never
What?
done like a zero all over. So if I'm gonna let my hair grow back, it grows.
Oh, it's a common thought. Huh? I've been
Yeah, why
thinking
not?
of that. I'm like, no, we have Zoom meetings to do. Let me not look so weird.
Well, we're often told by society we're not allowed to do certain things, aren't we? So
Yeah.
let's see. But you may see much less hair on me soon.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sorry.
You can find more information about the project at nairobidesignweek.com. Be sure to subscribe to our channel for more African design and leave a comment or review to let us know what you thought. Thank you and stay safe. Oh, and one more thing, shout out to Finishay, who's an amazing music producer we've been working with. He's been sending me tracks for over a year, and we're going to play one now as an outro. This is Top Boy by Finishay.
You want beef for the key, don't you know that's hot boy? That's hot boy, hot boy. No time for your shit, get with that hot boy. That's hot boy, hot boy. At the corner, chilling with a stick, that's hot boy. That's hot boy, hot boy. Got heat, don't fuck with my clique, that's hot boy. That's hot boy, hot boy. You want beef for the key, don't you know that's hot boy? That's hot boy, hot boy. No time for your shit, get with that hot boy. That's hot boy, hot boy. At the corner, chilling with a stick, that's hot boy. That's hot boy, hot boy. Got heat, don't fuck with my clique, that's hot boy. That's hot boy, hot boy. That's hot boy up in this bitch. You got no money, you get no bitch. Hot boy, man's around the corner, chilling in the street, sipping on Corona. Packy Molly, give me something stronger. I'm a young king, young Simba. All these cats tryna match up to me, and the main bitches always tryna screw me. Ever since I got rich, everyone's on my dick. As a youngin', never had everything. Now a nigga can't afford anything. I mix the Gucci, the Louis and shit. I rock Adidas from head to toe beat. You claim that you own it, you rented that shit every time on a track, yellow tape on the beat. That's hot boy, hot boy, hot boy. But my neck too cold, I'm frost boy. If I ever talk about what I do, my nigga, I guess they'd call me a dope boy. I got the steel, so I hate the lick. I don't give a fuck, yeah, I'm going in. You got choppers, I'm as extended clips. Don't come at me and my fucking clique. I'm hot boy. Yeah, hold up, bang. Niggas on the feast, dang. I'm a big deal. Pull up in a Lambo, got the Coco, Lamba Lolo, leader of the gang. Rambo, boom. So I make moves in Clyde and yeah. Your bitch wanna hold, I'ma hit that thing. Like a biggie, biggie, heavy, heavy, dig it. Brain fit child to the hook and sugar. Pick a boo, red, who, Bobby, where you at? Bend it over, yo, pass it over, yo, take it over, yeah, range it over, then powder only. I'm the bricks, nigga, I'm the block. Smoking weed, nigga, show it off. Color green, nigga, get the door. On 6th level, got the packs. I'm at the payphone talking shit about these niggas hating on my new look. Traumatized, yeah, got you dramatized and bumping on your shit. Colorblind, I'm on pin stop hill. Pop drinks till morning lie, hold inside, hold the signs, never hang with the pins, but I hit the P. Don't.
You know what it is, baby.
You want beef with the key, don't you know that's hot boy? That's hot boy, hot boy. No time for your shit, get with that hot boy. That's hot boy, hot boy. At the corner, chilling with a stick, that's hot boy. That's hot boy, hot boy. Got heat, don't fuck with my clique, that's hot boy. That's hot boy, hot boy. You want beef with the key, don't you know that's hot boy? That's hot boy, hot boy. No time for your shit, get with that hot boy. That's hot boy, hot boy. At the corner, chilling with a stick, that's hot boy. That's hot boy, hot boy. Got heat, don't fuck with my clique, that's hot boy. That's hot boy, hot boy.